Fine, so let's start today's session. Pardon me for the initial hiccups and the delay. You guys fresh from RIP, so must have had a different kind of an experience visiting the villages, talking to people there. So we would be starting the session based on those lines. And so talking about the key role positions for the day. The Toastmaster of the day is today me. I'm Nilanjan, and the table topic master is Anirban. And the themes for the table topics for the impromptu speeches would be based on your RIP experience, which Anirban will reveal going forward. The speech evaluator is Sapna. You have to raise your hand. She will be evaluating the prepared speeches. For the impromptu speeches, those will be evaluated by Vani, followed by the general evaluator for today's session, who is Asha Lata. The R counter is Navya. Pardon me for the pronunciation in case it goes wrong. Grammarian is Sonal, and the timer is Kavya. Yeah, so without further ado, let's start with the first prepared speech by Shikha. The topic is not rape.
Hello everyone. While browsing the internet, I came across an article, The Not Rape Epidemic by Latoya Peterson. She has briefly described her experiences and the things that went on with her friends, and I'll be quoting incidents from the same article. Rape. Rape is a four-letter word which we all very well know. It's so easy but so difficult to comprehend and so difficult to bring on the lips. We often read news articles about girls and boys being molested, being tortured, being mistreated. And we have been taught how to safeguard ourselves against it. We're being told, don't go out alone in corridors, don't take rides from strangers. In fact, even in case of date rapes, buy your own drinks and protect your own drinks. But all these things work only for the context that we know very well-defined context of rape. But then there is something called not rape. All of you must be wondering, what exactly is not rape? Not rape can be a lot of things. Not rape can be just going out in a local train and a stranger groping you. Not rape can be your 6-year elder boyfriend forcing you to have sex, or he just leave you. Not rape could be a sly comment in a random street. Basically, not rape is anything that is mentally torturous, but then you cannot take any legal action against it. There is no law against not rape. Often teenagers go through such things. I'm sure each of you must have had your own stories, small or big. But then we are very scared to put it forward. We don't want to share it with our parents because we think that they'll consider us guilty. They'll scold us. And it's your fault. You should have been more careful. Sometimes we just think that maybe we are wrong. Maybe we shouldn't have these things. I mean, one of the incidents happened with me just randomly shopping at Fashion Street in Mumbai. I was in grade 5 and there was this salesperson who was selling jeans, and he kinda tried to feel me. I felt petrified. I just ran away from their store, but it took me a year to tell my mom that such and such thing had happened. In fact, things have happened everywhere. One of my friends also went through a similar experience. She was coming home from her tuitions, and the auto driver took her in a wrong lane. As soon as she realized that things were not going right, she tried to run away and just escape what could have been a disaster. In her story, when she was 18 years old, she had a group of friends whom she was not very close to. I mean, she had her own girly circle and a party group of friends. So one of her friends, who was not very well reputed, he came to visit her. So she just opened the door because he was a familiar face. And finding that she was alone at home, he threatened her, "I can do anything with you." She was a little scared, and before she could just close the door on his face, he pinned her against the wall, repeated the threat, and just went away. She felt disgusted, but then he hadn't done anything. Technically, he hadn't even touched her. What could she do? Whom could she complain? She couldn't do anything. So she let it go. Then there was a party. There was a party 3 days later where she was invited, but she did not go because she was scared of that person. I would like to share a few pictures I came across. This, as we all know, Nirbhaya case in Delhi. This was the pretty girl, and this is what happened to her. This is Latter's friend who went to the party. The guys got drunk, and this is what happened to her. She was really thankful that she did not go to the party. But then she felt guilty. If she could have told about that incident, then maybe this girl would have been saved. There are many other victims who are scarred for life. Their physical wounds might heal, but their mental wounds may never. Rape affects you twice. Once, when actually the situation takes place, and second, when you're told to tell about it. Maybe to a police officer or to a medic, but not rape affects you every single day. Because the person who has committed that heinous crime against you is still there open in the society, and he may be a potential rapist. So what we should do is we should accept people. I mean, parents should understand that it's not always the kid's fault. They should not be scolded. They should be allowed to tell. They should be allowed to talk about any such things happening against them, however minor it might be. Because not rape, if not cured at the right time, might scar your mind for life, or might even lead to a potential rapist.
Thanks, Shikha, for the good topic. I mean, she opened up a very sensitive topic which can have, disturbing experiences and memories for people. And right now, I mean, as she said, nobody, be it a small kid, guy, girl, no one is sort of safe from the clutches of these evil the moment they snatch you. And the only thing is, we have to be careful, cautious, and we should go out with trustworthy people, inform our parents, which she rightly mentioned. So I don't see any other speakers up for a prepared speech. So, your good name?
It's Satish Bhagat.
And what will you be talking about?
Icebreakers.
Sure. You can start, Satish.
Yeah. Hello everyone, I'm Satish Bhagat and I'll be telling about myself, about my life. Let's start with the beginning as a timeline. I was born and brought up in Ranchi, where I was educated, had primary education. Then there people there are very friendly of Ranchi, and atmosphere is also good. it is said that anyone who comes to Ranchi and wants to settle there. Actually, it is a hill station kind of thing. It is in plateau. Their temperature is quite low in comparison to other places. Even when the days are in summers or winters, you need to have a blanket at night to sleep. It's really cold. Moving from ahead, I was a kind of introvert kind of person in the beginning, but when I went to my college, that is my engineering college, then as everyone mostly faced ragging issues, I was also a part of it, but it made me a kind of person who can interact with my friends, make friends, interact with seniors, as it was not a choice, but I had to face many seniors with ragging, and it was a kind of good experience. It made me know a lot of seniors. Now also I am in touch of many of them. Apart from that, I have made many friends there. We used to talk about our seniors, talk about seniors, how they behave and how we will not rank our juniors. But it completely changed after 1 year. We also were the same bad seniors, and we also were involved in ragging stuff. Then it was all good in engineering colleges. I made a lot of friends there. Then moving from engineering college, I went to my first job. That was in Pune, TCS. There also I made a lot of friends, and I got an opportunity to learn lot many things, live alone from my family. I usually visit twice a year to my home. It was really, I felt really bad, but nothing can be done. It's life. Life is like this. After that, I got an opportunity to come to this wonderful college. I am in Goa. Here also I have made a lot of friends, and it's good experience here. Most recent event is RIP, and they have enjoyed a lot. Apart from little bit of work that somebody might have done or may not. That's all. Thank you.
Satish. Thanks, Satish, for this interesting account about your life. Typically, as we see in the IIM crowd, engineers, students who prefer engineering for graduation, even they work for maybe 1 or 2 years and then they join. So I hope you've seen Dhoni's house in Ranchi, because I always like to bring up Dhoni anytime I get a chance to, because I'm a big fan of Dhoni. And got a disturbing news today that CSK has been banned from IPL, so very heartbroken with that. Okay, moving ahead. Any other speakers for a prepared speech? Anyone can break the ice in today's session? Come in. So let's start in with the impromptus then. I'll invite Anirban to take over from here.
Okay, so good evening, Varna. We have had a very interesting start to the session today with Shikha talking about a topic which we like to discuss but probably are not so comfortable with, but we thank her for bringing it up. Also, we have had Satish tell us about his experience in Ranchi. it's actually very near to my home, Kolkata. Near is a relative term, but still, whenever you talk about any place in the east, my heart somehow travels there. So moving on, we talking about travel. I know all of you are fresh and just back from the Rural Immersion program, and as you might have already guessed, our impromptu session, our impromptu part of the day is more or less based on this. So we have tweaked it a little bit. What we do is we'll allow you to come here, recount your experience of RIP, but with a slight pinch of salt, we request you to recount your experience through the lens of different role players. So when you come here, you get to pick up this chip and then you recount your experience, or you innovate and make up your own experience, but you have to narrate your experience through the eyes of the role player that you choose. So it can be anyone, so try your luck and see what also narrate. Okay, also try to limit yourself within the Madhya Pradesh state. So without further ado, let's call upon Akshay Agarwal. They get 30 seconds to think.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, read out your topic for you. So you have to recount your experience as a historian or an archaeologist on the trip.
Historian
Or an archaeologist.
So my RIP was at Umaria district. It's a very small district and it became a district for around 2 years back. So it was itself a very rural area, unlike Bhopal or Indore. So okay, as an archaeologist or a historian, I would say the things were like it was a new place, I would say, comparatively nothing as such very much historian or something, but a nearby place called Manavgarh. It comes under the region of the king or the emperor there, belonging to Baghel, I don't know, Baghel people they call themselves. So I came across one of the forts, a small portion of fort, not the actual fort, inside the forest we visited and, as a safari. And there I came across a very interesting place where I saw for the first time a lying idol of Lord Vishnu. And it was very interesting because probably according to the guide it was the only known idol which is actually lying, and also in a flat way, not like the particular peculiar way which we see. And in front of it there was a pond which was getting water from inside somewhere in the mountain. Of course there must be some scientific way through which it must be coming, but they say it is coming from somewhere like so. It was nice to see that idol and the water coming in. And moving on, there was a fort, the main fort, which was at the top of the hill. There were around 32 hills inside the forest, and around 20 of those there were the portions of the fort. So that's all it was my experience as a historian for that place. Thank you.
Then I'm sure that he's really good with his facts, because if someone asks me to recount my facts, then probably not everything can be shared in front of a larger audience. Alright, so moving on, we have next Pratap. Okay, so he's an urban tourist who recounts his experience in RIP. Your time is
2 minutes.
Hi friends, I'm an urban tourist from Calcutta. As a part of rural MC Goa, I was asked to go to a place called Hada, and it is actually 150 kilometers from there. And I have one of the strangest experience. We booked a cab, and at the last moment there was no seat for a single person, so I was dropped out. So I went into a private bus, and it was around 6 a.m. in the morning, and I started from there, and I went into deep jungles and deep villages where I met some people who have peculiar dressings, and also I found some people that are too much can't find it. I have never seen such vehicles before. And one of the best experience that I had in that trip is like I was sitting near to a old man who was nearly around 90 years old, and during that time my friends were posting pictures of them having party and stuff, but I was with a person who was nearly 90 years old, and I posted that pictures, and they were making fun of me, but actually I learned many things from him. And the journey was around 5 hours. Actually, it's 150. I should have reached in 3.5 hours, but it took more than 5 hours. And throughout that RIP, I was able to get many insights of the activity that took place in the villages, like how they gather water, how government policies being implemented, and how village sarpanch and these guys are leveraging their power, and how exactly things are getting implemented. And I also found many livestock like cattle, sheep. So there were a lot of good farms, and we were happy to go to a location where this Narmada reservoir was there. So we had a very good experience there. And at last, after 5 days, we came back. And one of the best experience that I had was like since my journey started with this old guy, like I took a selfie with him during the time, and that gave me an idea of taking more selfies. So I took around 150 selfies over the whole trip with all people from villages, animals, their houses, and I documented it and made it into a selfie video.
So urban tourists traveling from Calcutta straight from a concrete jungle to an actual jungle, and you mentioned that you spend most of your time with a 90-year-old, I think 90-year-old person, whereas you missed your friends who were partying with people similar close to your age. That was interesting. So next we have. Yeah, so you are the tour guide on your RIP.
Hi friends, a very good evening too. First of all, I would like to tell you that this program was very interesting for us. We went to Ratlam, so that is about 4 hours from Indore. So it is a very nice, interesting place. The place is not completely, but about 70% tribal. So you can think that how much backward the place will be. So okay, I will talk from the perspective of a guide. So there were about 14 people from this college Indore, and they were like very developed kind of people. So when they came here, they were all very much interested to see the villages and all. So I took them to about 4 or 5 villages, and they were all very interested. So first village was Panchet. So we went to a place where there were just three, 4 houses in the middle of 3, 4 mountains. So that was very good. And after that we went to watershed areas. Watershed area is a place where water is artificially one dam is built to stop the water flowing, because there was no water in that area. And we talked to the Sarpanch there. He told that they had never seen that much big lake in their lifetime. So that is what I liked. And then I took them to a place which is a waterfall. And there was no water though, because it's not a rainy season. But yes, the place was very good. After that, I took them to Kedareshwar Mahadev, which is a kind of cave. So yes, I took them to, and one more thing, I took them to Cactus Garden, and the cactus were like about 7, 8 meters tall. So you can think if you will stand in front of cactus, it will be 7 meters. So that was a very good place I took them to. And after all, it was a very nice experience with them all. I would look forward to interacting with them again if they come to Ratlam. That's it. Thank you.
Right, so I think those of you who have watched Jamaican remember the place Ratlam, place where Karina Kapoor manages to catch training. I think if Diwakar was there, she could have got the train much easier. Anyway, so we have next Abhishek. Okay, so he's a foreigner who has been sent on an R&D program. Okay, all the best.
Hello everybody, my district allocated to me was Bhopal. So as the name is Rural Immersion Program, it was totally not in sync with the district allocated to me. It was totally urban immersion program for me. And as such, there were not any rural experience when we were living there. But we have made our itinerary like to visit villages on 2 days, and we have covered three villages. So there were 14 amazing people from Premier Institute of India, IIM Indore, and I was with them to see the beauty of India and to see the real India, because most of the India, it is said that there are 2 parts of India. One is India and another is Bharat. So I was there to experience Bharat. So I have then with all these amazing 14 people, I went to villages, and obviously the conditions here were not like my country. It was not as much prosperous as there. The conditions in living standard of the people were very low, and sanitation and hygiene facilities were really pathetic. So this is the real India that I came to see through this rural immersion program. So apart from these rural visits, when we came back to Bhopal with all these people, we used to have fun all around, and Bhopal is known as the city of lakes. So we went to most of the lakes in Bhopal, and we had some great memories, great boating experiences and all those. So it was a nice experience to with all these 14 peoples. Thank you.
Thank you, Abhishek. So one of the schemes that we got to learn about when we went to RRT was the midday meal scheme. I think it's time we rename it to midday spicy meal scheme because the amount of the dosage of red chili powder that we had to consume during our trip. I hope it did not give Abhishek a reason to reject the Indian cuisine altogether when he goes back to his native country. So moving on, we have Navya with us for the next speech. Okay, nice. So she's an environmentalist on the RIP trip. The West.
Hi friends, I'm an environmentalist. Recently been to Ratlam for my RIP trip along with 14 of IIM and those students. What is the best thing I've seen there is the nature. First day we have been taken to Cactus Garden where there have been cactuses from 170 years old to almost 2-3 years old. They have been maintained very well by one old person. That inspired me a lot. He said that he is the only one taking care of that garden and he maintained that garden so beautifully that it's worth a visit and it's one of the only cactus gardens in India according to him. Then another best thing is it's almost close to Rajasthan, so the climate is arid. There's no proper plantation, but still to grow crops they have been doing so many things like watershed. They are developing watershed development areas where they have been storing water during the rains and then cultivating crops. They have made the one crop in year to multiple crops in year. They have adopted various agricultural techniques such as multi-crops within the same time and then 3 months one crop and then 3 months another crop in the interval three crops in year. That is one good thing. Another thing is apart from the same issue, even though there is water problem, they have ensured greenery in each and every village wherever there is wherever possible. On the whole, I see that Ratlam is developing both. It's developing its in nature's perspective that going well, and also that giving education and all to their children and developing the future in India in that sense. Thank you.
So, an environmentalist and an urban citizen both even packed up to Ratlam. So it was interesting that she did not tear the urban citizen apart for living in a place filled with factories, emitting a lot of smoke and polluting our environment. So I think the urban tourists must be really grateful to you. So we have last candidate for today is Subhash. You don't have a choice, but you have a very interesting topic. So he's a localite on the RLP program who is being tagged along for the trip.
Okay, my district is Ikangura. To say this is the most backwardest district of Madhya Pradesh. So I'm from that place and I got an opportunity to take 15 of lazy bunch of people from my area. We traveled for 560 kilometers through train and we had some issues regarding the travel because of these lazy bunch of people. So after reaching there, we were received by one of the nodal officers. I don't know what this is. His name is Manish Dey. So he took us to a nearby guest house, nearby a lodge, which seemed a little bit an upper posh lodge to me. And these guys were sleeping for the entire 7 days of their RIP. The only one day they went out was to Orcha, which is a nearby place, which is a historic place. And I had a lot of trouble in taking them to this place. What I think about this group is, this is the only group maybe didn't even party for even a single day. I don't know what is the reason, but everyone usually drinkers. I mean, mostly 6-7 of them were usually drinkers, but they didn't have any intention to drink. I don't know the reason. Then we had a restaurant which is which is one of the part of the lodge. So we ordered food from the lodge, and 90% of them we ate only aloo paratha, onion paratha, paneer paratha. I remember of this RIP, I can only remember of this parathas and this paneer ka masala and this paneer some other interesting things will be actually one day they got excited to have it, and we thought of going to a place nearby a coffee shop, and we didn't know that it closes by 8:30 itself. So we had booked a small shadow and 5 of us went there, and we first of all we thought of getting side dish and then we were going to get dinner. But what happened is this chicken filled took almost 1 hour to prepare this, and we didn't we ate a lot of chickens were there, only chickens were
So this is perhaps what the sorry. That's okay. Okay, so we have one more speaker with us. Okay, so just before that, yeah, so as I was saying, I think this is what the PGP office was warning us about, perhaps about the culture shock. So definitely someone coming from a very hard-working background, seeing 7 people always closing on for 7 days, and then feasting only on parathas and chicken, must have been through a unique experience of his own. So kudos to you for that. We have one more speaker with us, Asha. So you get to pick up one of the chits. So you're the historian again, but probably to a different district this time. Okay.
Yeah. Actually, our RIP trip was to Hosangabad, but we actually planned it in a way that we actually visit some places with an official visit. It was like it should not be an official visit, but we planned a few days, and what we have to do for the RIP trip purpose, we have actually cancelled all other things for just going and enjoying, and we actually manipulated in this sense actually the collector that please we want to go and enjoy. So from Hosangabad we actually went and spent most of the time in Panchmari. Panchmari actually it's very pretty cool place and very good place one must have actually to visit. Here actually we have this one temple is there. It's actually I forgot his name, but it's like it's famous for Shiva. It's like the mountain is actually it is formed by itself. It's like the total thing. What you call Jada for the Shiva? What it? Jada Shankar. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, that's actually that is formed by itself. It's so beautiful and nice place to visit. The same place, the very same we have visited, and like we went to Bee Falls the same day, and we went to the Rajendra Gardens the very same day. We had the sunset, everything. But interestingly, the very same day I got a dream. It was like thinking that after we visited this Cherashankar temple, I got a dream like that I have made something like that temple, resembling that temple in our indoor itself. Like when I woke up and I realized, oh God, I am not so brilliant to make that so beautiful architecture and all. but it's good that that place had an impact on me, and this RIP trip gave me a very good experience of getting to know everything about places, which is and also this RIP trip gave us to experience and discover many places that are so beautiful that we don't know that exist in MP.
So we keep hearing the stories about people having dreams of their rebirth and then recollecting of their past life experiences. So when you started talking about the dream, I somehow felt that you had gone back in time and then you were trying to be actually in the character who actually carved out the temple. So moving on, I think we are at the closure of the table topic section of the day. I'll call upon Nilanjan to conclude the rest of the session.
Thanks everyone. Yes, indeed, we had a very good list of topics prepared by the team, and all the speakers said very well. I mean, we were left craving for more in the end from almost all the speakers. So, concluding the session, we would now have the scores and the results for the time and grammar, etc. So, calling on in the sequence, first of all, the R counter, Navya. Excluding me.
In prepared speeches, we have Shika with 3 hours. It's very good score. And we have Satish Bhagat with 28 hours. In the impromptu section, Akshay Agarwal with 11, Pratap with 10, Divakar with 14, Abhishek with 11, and me with 10. Subhash with 12, Asha with 8. The few words is being repeated. Who's it and very frequently.
It's okay. Next up would be the grammarian, Sonal.
Being grammarian of the day, I would have loved pointing out your mistakes. But my bad, all of you have good command over grammar. Just 2 things I would like to point out is maintain the correct usage of articles and the tenses. Like we all know the rules, but we generally forget when we speak. So that's the 2 things, otherwise it will work.
Thanks, Sonal. Moving ahead to the timer, Kavya.
Starting with the prepared speeches, Shika first, she
Sort of went on.
6 minutes and 35 seconds. I know the topic is interesting and she couldn't control her speech. The next comes Satish. He icebreaker of the day and he spoke 3 minutes and 58 seconds. He could complete it little words. Next is impromptu speeches. Starting with Akshay, he really thought for 28 seconds and he completed the topic within 1 minute and 6 seconds. Next is Pratap. He thought only for 10 seconds and winded up within 2 minutes and 25 seconds. Next is Divakar, same 10 seconds and 3 minutes. Abhishek, without any thinking, he completed the topic in 2 minutes 6 seconds. Next Navya, 20 seconds, 2 minutes. Subhash, no time to think, just 2 minutes 38 seconds. And then Asha, 32 seconds to think, 2 minutes and 20 seconds to complete.
Thanks, Kavya. And now coming to the speech evaluations. First up, the prepared speech evaluator, Swapna.
everyone. As for the prepared speeches we had first Shikha, earlier it was like we were about to have a Shikha, but then Satish, I'll start with first Satish because it was level 1 and icebreaker. According to me, you used the stage a bit lesser. Time was fine. The best thing that you started was your whole life experience. It was like in a sequence, which was very good thing. Lagging, yeah, everybody had an experience. So the iteration there was very good. And then the work experience and then join and all. So all over it was good. As for Shikha, yeah, very good usage of the stage, I should say. Very, very sensitive topic to start with. Actually, it was very engrossing as well, I should say. As per my note, your examples were really real-time and interesting. First, everybody could relate, importantly, that was the main thing. Concluding remark was the headline. Okay. And other than that, in terms of action, you did mention about the generating awareness, right? Everything was fine. There was one more thing that I would like to add over here. Because your speech was fantastic. I should say, it is fantastic, but alright. The thing is, the victim, the one who actually do not speak up, or do not reiterate, or do not say it to anybody else, they actually kind of participate in the crime as well. You might have heard this saying, I don't remember it exactly, but it's like, if being a victim, you are silent, you are part of the crime. Because you are not saying that whatever has been done or which was about to happen, it's actually partly wrong. Until unless you stand in front of it, you will never get it mediated. That was something I would like to add. The speech was very, very good.
Thanks, Sapna, for the judgments. And calling next the impromptu speeches evaluator, Vani.
The first speaker was Akshay. Akshay, your speech was very factful. I mean, as a historian, you remembered all those things that was very nice. When you were there, your foot movement was basically you shifting your weight from one foot to another. You're not really not utilizing the stage as such. The hour counts was okay, but then when you were saying the pauses were really long, a bit longer than it should be. And really simply got into the details very well. Speech had been done in a very nice manner, which was great. Second speaker was Pita. When you started off, you were really casual in the way you started off, like both your hands in your pockets and all. Okay, that everyone has a style, so I won't really comment on that. But you never really made a moment. You were just standing on one side, on one position. Once you start looking at one side, you keep on looking at it for like 20 seconds or so, and then you shift to the other side, and then you look for 20 seconds. Your gaze should actually move around, in a very proper manner. And then, sorry? See, many times you might get an audience which is very dispersed of like this. So, you might give it a try next time. Then you got into the role really well. But what I would suggest is that when you were speaking, your voice was really flat. I mean, you never really modulated it. And it was in one tone altogether. So, in the middle, some people really lost interest. So, try to work on that. The third speaker for the day was Divakar. You really did utilize your thinking time as such because you started out in 10 seconds, after 10 seconds. Anyway, when you were starting initially, you looked down and not really up. Then after some time, you realized that okay, that the role is of a guide. And then you picked up and then you were looking. So the point is that if you would have utilized your thinking time very well, then that confidence level goes up and then you can really pick up your speech in the beginning as well. Your gestures were really good. You were actually moving your hands a lot and the audience could really see that. Your speech was really filled with facts, so it looked like you were a real guy. Abhishek, no thinking time utilization at all. But anyway, your movement was restricted to only one block. Never really utilized the stage as such. it was done only once, not a lot of times. And as Anil pointed out to one of the facts that you could really compare it to the fruit that is there. So that was famous. Anyway, it was a good time. The next person was Navya. You really don't be hat off the environmentalist because you just talked about the environment from cactus to the green city and everything. So that is really nice. The space utilization was zero because you never moved. You were just standing on one side. Gestures were good, and there was probability that you just kept looking on one side, this side, when the audience was really on that side. And in the end, there were a lot of long pauses. So we got to work. Next up was Subhash. No thinking time utilization at all. He started up just as soon as he got the topic. Being a localite, and we had to step from local